So the question always comes up is what percentage of people have mental health problems? And then, of course, what comes first? Is it the mental health problems? And then that triggers the homelessness, or is it the other way around? Well, it's just not that simple, because I think some people are more vulnerable to becoming homeless because of their mental health problems, certainly that 15 to 20%. And then once you're homeless, things get worse. You can't help but get worse. I mean, if you're crammed into a shelter, trying to live with all these people you don't know, it's often not safe. There's a lot of consumption going on, substance use, and so on. That's just going to make things worse. So now the other part to it is, which of course is part of the way we think of mental health today, is the substance use part. And again, it's a high percentage. Now, the other thing I want to say is that it's different subgroups. I mentioned singles, and I'm kind of talking more about single adults here. But I think, and probably it would include young adults, but if you move over to families, you don't see mental health problems. What you see in families is great anxiety and certainly depression, but you don't see very much substance use among families. They're just trying to survive, and it's more of an economic problem. So it's a complicated kind of question to answer, the prevalence of mental health problems, and it's complicated because of the different subgroups, and because inevitably being homeless makes things worse wherever you start.
Hey, why is mental health illness, or why is mental health illness so high among people who experience homelessness?
Yeah. Well, I think again, I think it's that subgroup that become chronically homeless. They often have had a life of dealing with mental illness. But I also think that the state of homelessness, the crisis situation you're in, the stress of just surviving day to day, the uncertainty of getting out of it, all these things, put people at very high risk for mental health problems, and for the exacerbation of any mental health problems they might have started with.